In this presentation, I'll be going over a few things. I'll be introducing I'll be do a basic introduction and then go over some basic facts. Go over 3 to 4 strategies that all streaming services use to move around each other and maintain balance with each other while still shepherding in new users and providing revenue, exposure, new content slash opportunity for use by viewers and the entertainment industry as a whole. I'll go over some Netflix facts, Amazon facts, Hulu facts, and Disney Plus facts. They are the largest streaming services, or the most well known. They were just, and I'll be also be going over the importance of launch and covering an example of how Disney Plus did a really good job with their launch. I'll then have some final notes, and then I'll go over some general market information and facts about the streaming service industry. Summary and side notes. The streaming media industry is much like any other, especially the game industry, mostly due to the stories and the art that goes into it. In fact, most of the time, movies become games and games become movies. They translate in varying degrees of success, but oftentimes they are a very good source of advertising. Touching on a few things. How the industry is a complex ecosystem and requiring the streaming services to work together in a sense in order to drive sales and increase interest, revenue, and bolster their ability to drive interest and represent the exposure of their ad space. The more they can represent how many people are watching their service for how long and how many accounts they have, the more valuable that ad space will become and the more revenue they can buy. And the more revenue they come in from ads, the less they can charge for subscriptions and actually fund and provide not only the purchasing and acquisition of IPs, but also creation of custom content and drive people to their streaming service purely based on the fact that it's the only place to finish the story. Netflix is a good story. It has a lot of examples in their story about how to run a streaming, or how streaming media develops and how to run it. Originally, Netflix was a DVD sales. Netflix journey from DVD sales to streaming media titan. How creating their own content gave birth to other streaming services models and potential for setting the show to regular television or potential for selling the show to regular television or creating a place where your service is the only place to watch. Disney Plus's launch success, their strategy for acquiring content and pulling their content from other sources. Disney did a really good job of acquiring Marvel, History Channel, and Star Wars, and then pulled all of their content from every other streaming service, and then launched their streaming service. Now, I guarantee if you've never had Disney Plus, or if you don't have it now, you will have it eventually. I know I'll have to get it eventually in order to watch that Red Hulk movie. Okay, all right. Also, they do bundles and partnerships with cell phone companies. A lot of times, they do this with T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T, but they offer Disney Plus offers a bundle usually that comes with Hulu, and this allows them to bolster their account numbers, give people temporary or free stuff, and drive sales and marketing space, not only in cell phone ads, but for the cell phones on the streaming services themselves. So they can partner together and actually increase exposure for both industries. Intro. Streaming services span from Netflix and other movies and TV shows streaming services to applications that focus on renting and selling recently released movies to like Amazon Prime. There are even music streaming and animation translation services such as Crunchyroll. There are even services that facilitate the delivery of TV-like services that deliver older content and older shows that they have curated to cover the whole day and have ads positioned like commercials. Because when it comes to streaming services, you have 2 options to pay the bills, and that is through ad revenue or application/service subscriptions, which will directly affect the amount of money you can make in ad revenue. This also pushes IPs to create sequels or trilogies, so you can have streaming services change for one and offer the others for free, so you have to pay something to finish the story. They even started splitting episodes up and selling them individually on Amazon Prime for specialty shows like American Gods, while offering the show for free on lesser streaming services like Tubi, providing exposure for the show, the streaming service, and earnings for Amazon and the showrunners, meaning kickbacks and revenue all the way back up the chain to the source material's creator. The artists, the writers, the actors, designers, and cinematographers, streaming services, and publishers, all points of production get watered when things are set up correctly. Basic facts. Netflix released 500 original TV shows and movies in 2020. Streaming services had a total of $100 billion in revenue in 2025. Netflix had $25 billion in revenue in 2020. The music industry made $125 billion in 2020, and Amazon Prime had 125 million members. Now, even though Amazon has less members because they have more ad space, they're able to generate some revenue that Netflix, for example, misses out on. But Netflix actually has started putting in ads like every 2 or 3 episodes when you're binging, which probably has helped alleviate a lot of their costs and overhead. Netflix had 200 million paid subscribers worldwide as of 2021. The platform released over 500 original TV shows and movies in 2020, and something like that pulls people in, especially if you get a big acting crew to actually just make shows specifically for your streaming service. Suddenly, you not only have you have an entire genre that's only viewable from your streaming service. In 2020, the average Netflix subscriber streamed around 3 hours per day. Like I said earlier, this is a great opportunity to actually increase the cost for marketing people to pay to get on your ad service, because you have a spot that people will see for sure. Everyone who has a subscription for 3 hours a day, if you put it here, they'll see it. And it's just a really good opportunity and way for them to make revenue. Bridgerton became one of Netflix's most watched original series, reaching over 82 million households within its first 28 days. Netflix total revenue for 2020 was around $25 billion. Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime Video had over 175 million Prime members worldwide as of 2021. The Boys and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel were among the top watched Amazon original series. Amazon Prime Video's share of the U.S. subscription video market was around 20% in 2020, and the platform's global digital advertising revenue was projected to surpass $17 million in 2021. Amazon's content budget for Prime Video was expected to reach $9 billion in 2020. And now this is a whole other side of it right here, because Amazon can then go to showrunners and producers and actors and be like, we have this much revenue to support the production of your show if you put it specifically on our service. So if you have people who follow actors or follow specific stories that are going to be made, you can really pull them into just your service and drive up your applications for your subscription and the viewership as a whole. Hulu currently is owned by Disney, but Hulu had over 39 million paid subscribers and over 75 million total subscribers in the U.S. as of 2021. The platform's ad-supported plan was a significant contributor to its growth, attracting viewers seeking a lower-cost option. Hulu's total revenue in 2020 was approximately $2.8 billion. It's a huge industry. The amount of money these guys pull in is amazing, and they work together in order to keep themselves afloat, but they're still in competition at the end of the day. Hulu also has its own custom content. The Handmaid's Tale was critically acclaimed original series in Hulu that gained substantial following, and Hulu invested in expanding its original content offerings to compete with other major streaming platforms. Like I said, that's how it goes. One of my favorite shows, Legion, which is a Marvel show, but like it's done outside. It was done by Fox, X-Men. Fantastic show, only available on Hulu. And since Disney owns Hulu, they offer a package deal that not only gives you a Disney subscription, but it gives you a Hulu subscription, which I thought was really wise, since instead of offloading all this other content into Disney Plus's streaming service, they just offer this other avenue, this other place, this other pipeline, if we want to talk about the seas again. All right, Disney Plus. Disney Plus gained over 100 million subscribers within its first 16 months of launch. The Mandalorian was a flagship show for Disney Plus, driving its popularity and attracting a significant audience. Disney Plus accounted for around 14% of all. Disney Plus accounted for around 14% all of the top OTT subscriptions in the U.S. in 2020. The service global revenue was projected to reach $6.9 billion in 2021. Disney Plus expanded its presence in numerous international markets within its first year, contributing to its rapid growth. It had one of the best launches. They acquired the best IPs and made their content literally only available on their shows. So no matter what, you're getting it. I mean, eventually you're going to have kids and you're going to want to watch Mulan or something. I guarantee it. Now, Disney's launch success. Disney Plus had 100 million subscribers in the first month due to advertisement and lots of popular content that was not offered anywhere else. What also contributed to their success was the acquisition of historically popular and long-standing IPs such as Marvel and Star Wars, and and bringing competition and other content providers in-house, such as Hulu and History Channel, providing their content and deals on combo accounts that include their services as well. Some subscription and pricing models. Here I have listed some of the ways that they charge and make money. I'll just touch on these here. Average monthly subscription costs about $10 to $12. You have freemium versus premium, which some streaming services allow you to use and view their stuff and charge for an additional thing. Freemium and they usually include ads. This is a whole other model where if you're not paying for the account, they're still getting money for ads. And if you're paying for the account and you're not getting ads, they're still getting PR or they're still getting exposure for their ad space by having you as part of their account system. And freemium free with ads models are popular with around 55% of users opting for free streaming services. Premium subscription revenue generates over $37 billion in revenue annually. Family and multi-user plans. Approximately 38% of households subscribe to family or multi-user plans, sharing accounts across family members. Now, they can bundle services. About 30% of streaming subscriptions choose bundles that contain multiple streaming services for a discounted price. I mentioned this about Disney Plus and Hulu. Now, even though it's a bundle, they're still owned by the same thing, so Disney is making money on both of those subscriptions. Price sensitivity. Price remains a significant factor for the consumers, with 41% indicating that they cancel subscriptions due to cost concerns. If their prices get too high, it'll be seen as something that's just nice to have and not something that's necessary. So they got to make sure to balance their need for revenue with their whether or not it's worth paying for. Now, as the years go on, they'll keep driving this price up and keep adding content and say that you're technically like paying for more, but excuse me. They say you're technically paying for more, but in fact, it's still the same account. Now, I think that the pricing model for ads or no ads is a better way to go, because if you increase the price too much and it goes outside the standard of living, people will cancel their accounts and you won't get that subscription number. Now, even if they don't watch the shows on there very much or get on the app, if they're still have an account and they're letting it sit because it's a reasonable price, that's more fortuitous. That's more reasonable and more desirable for the streaming services, in my opinion. Special pricing tiers. Streaming services offer special pricing tiers like lower cost mobile only plans to attract more users in emerging markets. Free trial impacts. Around 60% of users who sign up for free trials end up converting to paid subscriptions. See, that number is great. That's over half. But if you raise the price too much, pretty soon you're just going to have people who sign up for free subscriptions and then get off the service. And if that goes on long enough, it doesn't matter if people love your stuff. If they can get around it, then you're going to lose the incentive for marketing people to want to market on your service, because people aren't actually getting on there to see the commercials. Price increases. Streaming platforms periodically increase subscription prices with an average annual increase of around 9%. I've mentioned this before. In closing, as you can see, it's a complex web with a lot of potential for marketing and advertising that produces a lot of revenue for everyone involved. In fact, because they can re-release shows after removing them and even drive up interest for a returning theater release, means that it's a much better system, in my opinion, than DVD sales were for the entertainment industry as a whole. As for the gaming industry, I do not think it's as good of a system. Now, I love having access to all my games and being able to download them and being able to download them from the store digitally, but having the physical disc allows me to have access to the game even without internet connection or a fresh update. This alone makes it at least partially worth it to keep a physical game disc a thing. Because, for example, you can sit and wait and download for free many games month to month, and that may make money for Sony, but it leaves out physical stores like GameStop. It also limits and, in my opinion, reduces the number of games sold as a whole. Even to my own game collection's detriment, I believe if digital versions of games become the standard, like they almost are, then they should be for a reduced price over free, and any deal should come as a package to drive up interest for fully priced games on the PlayStation Network. That way, it's a great deal. That way, it's a great deal. You get a few games that are linked, and you don't feel the burn as badly for a fully priced game. A good example of this is Star Wars Squadrons, which I saw packaged for a slight uptick of $70, but it included Battlefront 2 and Jedi Fallen Order, with the second game being offered at half price on the store separately, of course, but still a great deal and a great marketing strategy. Because in the end, all parts of an industry, even competitors, have to work in a way that keeps the money moving through the industry. Facts about the industry. The global music streaming market size is expected to be worth around 127 billion or 120 or 125.7 billion by 2032 from USD 36 billion in 2023, growing at a CAGR of 15.10% during the forecast period from 2023 to 2032. Essentially, I believe that means it's going to grow a lot. Global streaming revenues in 2020. The global streaming industry generated over $100 billion in revenue. Number of streaming subscribers. As of 2021, streaming platforms collectively had over 1.1 billion subscribers globally. Huge marketing potential. Netflix dominance. Netflix remains a major player with 208 million subscribers worldwide in early 2020. Rise of mobile streaming. Mobile devices account for about 25% of all streaming videos played globally. Original content investment. Streaming giants like Netflix and Disney Plus have spent billions on original content production in recent years. Like I said, it is a great way to pull people into your service. Binge watching behavior. Around 73% of subscribers admit to binge watching behavior or binge watching, consuming multiple episodes or movies in a single session. It'll take your life if you're not careful. Cord cutting trend. Cord cutting trend in the U.S. increased by 27.1% in 2020, with millions canceling traditional cable subscriptions. Now, this is purely because they missed the mark. They had in the homes the whole hookup and could have facilitated these streaming services on their platform, but they dragged their feet and they looked at them as competition and they let them get behind them and become a more reasonable and more effective way to deliver content. Anyway, this has been my third and final attempt for my presentation on streaming services industry. I hope you enjoyed it, and if I had done this live, I'd take some questions. But I hope you all have a good day and happy Thanksgiving.